Well, again, the fans' reaction at the end showed how they felt about the afternoon. What was your opinion of the performance and the result, Nigel?
Yeah, result's not good enough. You know, when we look at it, break it down, challenging conditions for both sides. You know, the win both ways. They wanted to play out from the back. We've pressed them first half hour, okay, and then we've had possession of the ball. We give it away. They go on counter attack. You know, we should have stopped them. So we should have stopped the first goal, and then when we just before half time, two centre halves have gone and collide. We should stop the second goal. So you go in at half time 2-0 down, knowing that it's going to be a different second half again with the elements. You can see that. So we've got to try and play our way out from the back. And that pool, you can see when we've kicked the ball, Luke's tried to kick the ball for both sides, it just gets held up in the wind. So tried to play, when you break it down, we've actually, we probably had more possession of the ball in the second half, trying to the endeavour to do it, make 4 changes, 2-0 down, we've got to score a goal, we won't try and do it. A couple of 𝗬𝗢𝗨𝗥𝗧 in there, which ended up in corners, and at the very end there, Sam Finley's obviously give the ball away. Again, I was trying to play through and play out, instead of just hoofing it in the air, and ultimately it's not good enough. Buck stops for me, it's not good enough.
They seem to have a lot of benefit of playing through you, particularly as the first half went on, and you didn't seem to have to stop them doing that.
Well, listen, they want to play out. If, like, when we look at the first goal they've gone and scored, they've got one player in our half of the pitch and everybody else, they build the play, you know, and they try and suck you in there and they pop it round, and I'm just disappointed with the 2 goals that we've gone and conceded, because for me they were avoidable. We should have stopped them, and that changes again the complexion of it. A hard-fought game in conditions that are not conducive for difficult conditions, winter conditions, football, English football, you know, and it makes it interesting then, because there's going to be a game of stakes as well. And listen, we've looked to try and affect the game by passing the ball a bit better in the second half, which we probably did do, but we still didn't score a goal. You know, and in the end, like, Sam's trying to get on the ball and make us play, and 𝗬𝗢𝗡𝗡𝗘𝗥 coming off the line from a full-back position to try and get the extra pass, and it's been intercepted, and we've conceded a goal from there.
Terrific away support again. I mean, we know what the conditions are like travelling today, over 640 fans here. What sort of hope can you give them about getting out of this? I mean, it's one win in 7 at the moment. What hope can you give them? What can you do differently? What can you change?
Well, it's made 4 changes today during the game. We're looking to the players that we've got. Everyone's got to step up and be counted. As I say, the buck stops with me. I've got to help us find a way. I can't be on the pitch, but I've got to help us find a way to just keep everybody going. And the faith and the belief has got to be there. We've got to do everything we can for our football club. And that's where we are at this moment in time. We've got to do everything we can. We've got to keep going. Again, sometimes there's fine margins to change it around, but today wasn't good enough. In trying conditions, let's be honest about that, let's be fair about that, and people could see it. As soon as the ball goes up in the air, it's coming back in your face. So we've endeavoured to pass through and play. You just alluded to them in the first half, maybe where they've played through a little bit, and they're good at doing that. That's the way they try and build a play. For me, we should have eliminated the 2 goals that they've gone and scored. They've got a couple of talented players when they get the ball in them attacking thirds of the pitch. And we've endeavoured to play through, and as I said, when you break it down, we've probably had more possession in the second half, but again, we haven't scored a goal.
What things can you change? I mean, obviously you'll analyse what's happened today, but it's more generally, because this has obviously been going on for a couple of months now.
Yeah, it's changing the personnel. It's everyone can relate to, like, players who are maybe not available, but these are the players that are available. Everyone's got to stand up, and again, the opportunity. Solomon, come on, just Sam Taylor in there. But again, we're 2-0 down when they come on, although it's time, and people have got to take responsibility on the pitch. We've got to structure it about ourselves, in possession, out of possession. When you're on the ball, you've got to make those decisions under pressure, under fatigue.
Do you believe you can do that? Do you believe you've still got that within you to be able to make sure that change does happen and things do improve?
Oh, listen, I've certainly got the belief within myself, but I know what football's all about. And we've got to stand up and be counted. So again, I'll break it down. So you break it down. If you're going to slump busting, so what's the first thing you do? So if a new manager comes in, as an example, first thing you're going to do, physically, look at the physical side of it. Are you fit enough? That's the first thing you've got to go and look at. We look at that all the time, what we've got. Technically, tactically, mentally, socially. There's your slump busting things. And that's what you do. Try and keep it simple. Don't complicate it all. Put players, round pegs in round holes, as you say, and get the best out of them from what they're going to go and do. And the players have got to come to the party. That's what you've got to go and do. So again, long enough in a game, a lot of games of football underneath my belt, seeing it, been here before, and I've got to make sure that I lift the players for the next game. The fans will The fans are going to support the club. I'm hungry. I'm desperate for us to do well. Right? Ended up taking over last season because we were going the wrong way. We managed to alleviate that. So I know what's required and what's done, and I've got to make sure that we get the best out of everybody. But the players have got to apply themselves as well. I know the fans are going to get right behind the team, and if you're not doing it, the fans are going to tell us about it. I know that, rightly so. We've got to turn it around.
And I mentioned January before, and with all the players out at the moment, can you get new recruits in? You said it might be the takeover is the key to that. Any further thoughts on that? Because you've got a thinnish squad.
Yeah, we've got players who are not available at this moment in time, but other teams have got that as well. So I've not used that as an excuse. Takeover, new investment, whichever way it wants to phrase. I know there's a lot of work going on very hard behind the scenes, and that's obviously to try and secure the football club moving forward and the stability that's required. And we all know that. Having been a player, having been a supporter and a player when we were up against it way back in the day, we don't want to go through them situations again. So I know there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes, and when that's done, that obviously gives yourselves a situation where there's a new set of objectives, if you like, from the January period and moving forward. But in the meantime, I've got to make sure that I'm responsible for it all. I take that responsibility, I burden that responsibility, and we've got to make sure that the players, when they cross the line, are probably in the right mind space when we talk about it, that they can deal with it themselves as well.
I focused on the league position, but of course, Tuesday night now you've got the last 32 in the AFL. I mean, is that a good thing to have at the moment, or something different perhaps for the players to focus on?
Well, it's the next game. We want to win the next game. At the end of this, you've got an opportunity to get to Wembley and win a trophy. So it's a tough game, Rotherham away, we know that. But what we've got is an opportunity, the next game. We've got to get over this one and get ourselves ready for that game.
And I can see the determination in your voice there. You want to fight on and make sure that you get Tranmere back up the league again.
All I care about is a football club. Listen, you win 2 games and all of a sudden we're mid-table looking on and looking, so it changes very, very quickly with the games we've got. Obviously we've got the Christmas period coming up as well. And for me, it's just trying to put a simple organisation in place the players can adhere to, not complicated with it, and then you've got to apply yourself. You've got to run, you've got to tackle, you've got to challenge, you've got to go and close down, you've got to win the ball, you've got to get your head up. Can you play forward? We had to adapt to the conditions. Both scenes, it was challenging out there today, let's be fair about it. And I think, we look at the second half, we've endeavoured to actually get the ball and pass the ball, and you can see that we have it. It's not good enough, right? Let's not hide away from it. It's not good enough. But the endeavour there was to try and actually keep hold of the football a bit more and build, instead of having it up in the air where it was just going to come back.
Safe journey home on a terrible day.
Well, thank you, and safe trip home for all the supporters as well, because I know it's a challenge for everybody, isn't it? So, well, there we go. As you say, it's on to the next one.